Jeff, it's always awesome to see you, my friend. Today, we've got a topic that is near and dear to our hearts and top of mind in sales right now, and that's automation and AI, how it's being leveraged, how it can be leveraged effectively. I think there's a lot of wild news and misnomers in the media sometimes around this topic, and I'd love to hear the straight truth from you on how can automation and AI be used to help us be more effective at sales.
Yeah, thanks, Carson. Good to see you again. And yeah, topic that's near and dear to my heart. The whole premise of the book that I wrote a couple years ago, Authentic Selling, is basically about all of AI and how it's flooding into the sales industry. You might go back and I'll bring us back to the 2020 presidential election. Actually, you might remember there was a candidate, Andrew Yang, who was running for president at the time. He didn't get very far, but he was talking a lot about automation. He has a tech background, and he was talking about how we need to prepare for automation kind of destroying blue collar jobs, right? And he was talking a lot about self-driving vehicles and specifically truckers and how the trucking industry was going to be impacted. And I think that we've seen automation take out a lot of blue collar jobs. You go to CVS and there's a self checkout now. You don't have to go to a register anymore. And I think that a lot of people have naively assumed that AI really only comes for the blue collar jobs and not the white collar jobs. And I think that that's a mistake. And what I predicted a couple of years ago is that uh, AI would come for sales jobs. And I think that prediction is starting to come true. There are AI technologies that automate a lot of what salespeople do now. That's been going on for a little while, but now it's becoming even more of a threat. I'd say more so to SDRs than any other sales profession. There's literally companies that can write cold emails now based off of who the target persona is. And so my argument is really that I'd say that's twofold. One is that we really need to embrace our authenticity. We need to embrace what makes us human. That's what will help us get ahead. Because think about the idea that somebody can write a cold email now completely using AI. Now, what's going to end up happening is that the bar for what is a good email is going to get higher, right? Because you're going to get used to the fact that every email is going to be personalized to you. So what I've been arguing and what I've been suggesting is that we need to get away from this idea that things like personalization are enough. If you really want to be human, you need to have shared values. You need to be able to relate back to yourself, because a machine, at least for now, doesn't have feelings, right? So it doesn't have experiences. It can't say, hey, Carson, I saw you're from St. Louis and I spent a lot of time in St. Louis, because the machine, that's just not true, right? So what makes us human is this idea to have shared values. And that's what we really need to lean into with the people that we sell to. I think the other thing too, Carson, is that a lot of this AI technology that's out there today can be used to help people instead of replace them, right? You and I both are very involved with Humantic, company that uses neurolinguistics to understand the persona of the person that you're selling to. And similar to the way that, we all kind of change our behavior based on the person we're talking to, Humantic is a tool that kind of helps you understand people and helps you adjust to, how you should approach a person, similar to how you might have a different relationship with your brother than you have with your sister, or different friends and different social situations. The dynamic changes. It's no different in the sales environment, and there are tools out there that can certainly help you. We're both big fans of Humantic. I know I'm a fan of Lavender. Again, this is a tool that helps you, doesn't get rid of you, but helps you. So there's a lot of tools out there that can be helpful. We don't have to look at it as a zero-sum game. These things can be additive and complementary, and I think that's where I hope things will go. But the human being still needs to be mindful of what they can do to get ahead, and I think that means embracing your inner human. What are your thoughts about all of this?
Yeah, it's just such an important topic because, I've been in sales for a long time, and it's interesting because I, really adopted social selling years ago, at a time when it was kind of an anomaly. And then years later, I mean, I had managers that were telling me, like, Carson, you're the new type of seller we need, which I found hilarious given my age and time in selling. And I'm telling you right now, AI is a tool that we need to analyze and adopt in the right ways while staying true to genuine and authentic relationships, like you called out, Jeff. There's so many implications here, from the power of lead scoring, telling me that I might, based on some of these indicators, have a higher probability of getting a meeting or having a warmer lead, as it were. How things can be baked into CRM softwares now so that we can get a feel for automating some tasks that might have taken us a long time, or getting prompts to do activities as opposed to having to schedule time and go in and have this rigor. Some of these things might be able to bubble up to the surface. The other thing too, and I know that this is very top of mind for a lot of organizations that I talk to, is predictive analytics, being able to, based on trends and just being able to digest so much data so swiftly, showing you things that you should be thinking about or potential outcomes. And the reason that this is important as a seller is because if it has the potential to make you better, you want to find ways to integrate that into your arsenal. But you also can't do it willy-nilly. You can't do it without strategy. And so, you mentioned Humantic as a great example. It's not going to do your job for you, but what it's going to do, it's going to give you insights based on what is being said by a customer's profile. It's going to give you and point you to some things that you should take into consideration as you write these. I've been writing sales emails for 20 plus years, and I always patted myself on the back thinking, oh, I'm writing the perfect message. But since using Humantic, my messages have changed dramatically based on the information that I'm getting as far as personality profiles or things that stick out as far as what the AI is able to tell me. And I think that's super impactful. I'll give you another example, ChatGPT. Full transparency and disclosure. I work for an organization where, we have some investment there. So these opinions are my own. But I'm using ChatGPT in a way to take, could be transcripts from a podcast and to give me some notes or summarize them. Could be an email, maybe a lengthy email, or my raw chicken scratch notes from a meeting. And its ability to organize those in a very succinct way very quickly, that's helpful for me. It saves me time. So the things that I think we can continue to do in order to interact with chatbots, with AI in meaningful ways that help arm us with better information that we can show up more informed with our customers, information so that, frankly, we have better tools. And again, we as humans have to infuse the value into these situations. If I look at a spreadsheet that tells me something about my team that isn't favorable, and I choose to have a knee-jerk reaction and manage widgets, shame on me. But if I use that in order to diagnose where our process might need some work, and I as a human work with my team that are humans to better that process, that information was gold. So it's all how we read, analyze, articulate, diagnose based on what the AI is telling us. And then we have to make the conscious decision in order to go out and interact meaningfully, add value, seek to serve, and all of those choices. None of this is going to replace sales, but it has the potential to, as you said, raise the bar and make us all better. And that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, can't agree more. I